Hi everyone, my name is Olivia and I have been an intern with Project Create. Project Create is a community-based nonprofit organization in Washington, D.C., where it promotes youth development through multidisciplinary arts, education, and enrichment. So they like to incorporate and use the many different art modalities such as music, art, and even drama. Drama is my little heartstrings and joy that I love, but honestly, I love all of the different art modalities and I dabble in all of them. And so, yes, I'm here today to talk to you and to show you a little bit about poem houses. Yes, poem houses. What are they? What is this video about? What are we going to be getting into? All right, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to walk it through. All right, so as you are home, as everyone is home during this time of quarantine, and we continue to practice social distancing, and perhaps you have loved ones who are still working, perhaps loved ones are not working. Perhaps you're a student and you haven't been able to see your friends and you're stuck at home. Regardless of your situation right now, and again, I hope you and your loved ones are doing well. But despite what might be going on around you, I hope that these lessons that we are offering through Project Create can help give you a little peace of mind and give you something to do at home. So I myself am at home sharing this video with you, and so here we go. So I'm going to read a poem, and as I read the poem to you, please begin to visualize certain things, listen very carefully to the poem. If you want, and I would love this, maybe you can get a pencil or anything you can write on, a pen, even color pencils, a crayon if you just find one laying around. So you can find writing utensil, get a piece of paper, and maybe you can start to doodle. Start to draw or doodle ideas that pop into your head as you're listening to me read this poem. And at the end, we are literally going to create a little house. And this house is going to be created out of things you can find in your own home. So hopefully it can be really simple and easy. And at the end of it, you have a little house that you've created. And it's all for you. It's just for you. And it's going to be based off of your own thoughts and your own feelings that come up to you while I am reading this poem. Okay, so here we go. Now this poem is called If You Can't Go Over or Under, Go Around by Joseph Morris. Okay, and feel free to always pause this or go back to it or whatever you want to do. All right, so I'm going to start reading. Here we go. Again, it's called If You Can't Go Over or Under, Go Around by Joseph Morris. Here we go. A baby mole got to feeling big and wanted to show how he could dig. So he plowed along in the soft, warm dirt till he hit something hard and it surely hurt. A dozen stars flew out of his snout. He sat on his hunches, began to pout. Then rammed the thing again with his head. His grandpap picked him up half dead. "Young man," he said, "though your pate is bone, you can't butt your way through solid stone. This bit of advice is good, I've found. If you can't go over, under, go round." A traveler came to a stream one day, and because it presumed to cross his way, and wouldn't turn round to sit his whim, and change its course to go with him, his anger rose far more than it should, and he vowed he'd cross right where he stood. A man said there was a bridge below, but not a step would he budge or go. The current was swift and the bank was steep, but he jumped right in with a violent leap. A fisherman dragged him out, half drowned. When you can't go over or under, go round. If you come to a place that you can't get through, or over, or under, the thing to do is to find a way round the impassable wall. Not say you'll go your way or not at all. You can always get to the place you're going if you'll set your sails as the wind is blowing. If the mountains are high, go round the valley. If the streets are blocked, go up some alley. If the parlor car's filled, don't scorn a fright. If the front door's closed, go in the side gate. To reach your goal, this advice is sound. If you can't go over, under, go round. Okay? Sorry, I kind of messed that up a little bit. But I hope you heard this story and received the poem. Again, it's called If You Can't Go Over or Under, Go Around by Joseph Morris. Perhaps your parents can help you find it on the internet. If you have a phone, I'm sure you can perhaps look it up there as well, if you would like to read it some more. And so yes, I chose this poem because I really loved it, and I think it's great for kids. I think it's great for people of all ages, honestly. I truly enjoyed it because it gives you a lesson. A lot of the times we tend to get really frustrated or annoyed or angry. You know, we get all these negative emotions when we can't get something we want. Like perhaps now, maybe you're home and you're frustrated and you still can't get used to a schedule, or perhaps you don't have all the things you might need, and that is very tough and it's frustrating, and I understand that. I really do. And I believe this poem, one of the main messages that I got from it is to just wait, okay? Think about it and figure out another way around it. You know, figure out a different way to perhaps getting what you want or things that you might need, or, you know, there's always an alternative to something. But regardless of what that might look like to you and your situation, you know what? It does take time to stop and to really think and analyze certain things. It takes time. And so, yeah, as we are all going through a different time right now, just take this poem and think about it. All right? There's always going to be a different way out. All right? There really is. And at times it's going to be tough. At times you might get frustrated, but there is going to come a time where you're going to get there. And that can look like whatever it might look like for you, okay? And I say this to be positive during this time of quarantine, to be positive when it comes to social distancing. We are all going to get there one day, and hopefully very soon, okay? So here we go. So what you're gonna do now for the activity part, I know I spoke a lot, but now for the activity part, you can find any box that you would like in your house to create a smaller house. All right, so I got some examples for you to try out. Look, garlic bread, okay? Empty, still smells like garlic. I know it's not the best, but what you could do is you could take some scissors. If you are pretty young, make sure you ask your parents. Maybe they can help you and you can cut around, or you can even use the whole box. All right, and somehow you would create your own house out of this. All right, I have other examples here too. Spaghetti. I know this is super tiny, but there's super tiny houses out there. Maybe it's a room. You never know. You can be creative. You can cut that out. More boxes. Food. These are all things that I'm going to recycle. But I thought, hey, why not use it, right? Upcycle here. Or I ordered something forever ago and I kept this box. I don't know why, maybe because it's a nice sturdy box. This would actually be really perfect, but not a lot of people have like packaging boxes. And yeah, so that's why I actually used, I don't know if you can see, but it's a Ziploc box that I was gonna actually end up recycling. See, here are my scraps. So I just cut it up so that there's an opening. As you can see, there's an opening here and there's a lot of stuff inside. And what you're gonna do, you can find little things around your house, cotton balls. Sometimes people have these little pipe cleaners. I just kind of swirled one on my finger, plopped it in there. I cut out an index card into a really weird shaped star. And I have that, and there's a paper clip holding it together. Here is a colorful feather. Here is a piece of fabric that I taped with blue tape, okay? It's painter's tape. They put this up against walls so that, you don't get paint on the important parts of the wall. It's literally things that I found in my house that I used to create my little house. And now when I was to fully finish my house, I was gonna take like these 2 index cards and put like a little roof. Okay, so the whole point of the poem house is to really listen to a poem, analyze the poem, and create a box just for you, okay? Something that you can remember the poem by. Now, when I was reading the poem and I read it several times, I kept thinking of a bridge. For some reason, I thought of the story where there's like a troll under the bridge and you have to answer riddles in order to get across because the troll won't let you. My mind went to many different places. So I created a little bridge, and it's kind of like I created obstacles throughout my little house. And here's the title and the name of the author. And then my little note here says, you can do it. Kind of like a way for me to remember that I may have all these different obstacles standing in my way, and you can create that with your own little box. But ultimately, we can overcome it. I can get to the place where I want to get to. And yeah, it's a good way to remember a poem by. And they're called poem boxes. All right, you can I'm sure you have a lot more fun things, maybe little action figures. You can create the scene of your play in here. And again, this is really tiny. You can get bigger boxes and create a theater, create a playground, whatever you can think of, using things like tape. You have tape at home, paper clips. You might need some scissors. Look, I even have markers and pastels that I can color my box with. Maybe if I don't have paint, maybe I don't even have markers. You can take pen and spend your time just shading in or writing things on it. I put stop, think, and act in an order how they should probably go sometimes. And yeah, here's some ribbon for presents that I found. And look, I found cotton balls and other wrapping paper. I have some yarn and string. I have a box full of little art supplies that I find and I like to keep. Okay, so that's it. I thank you all for listening. I appreciate your time. And I would like for you, and if it's okay with your parents, if you are young ones watching, if you can please send pictures of your houses. And if you want, send us a little story on what you did. We would love to see them. And you can send it to programs@projectcreatedc.org. Okay? So please send that. We would love to see your poem houses. And really just, think about the poem. If you can't go over or under, go around by Joseph Morse. All right, don't forget, there's always another way. All right, and soon we will all get there to whatever that looks like in our own times, throughout our life, in our own situations. There's always another way. Okay? Again, my name's Olivia, and thanks. It was great to share with you. Bye.